This is now our lightning round. We're wrapping up, and it's your chance as our guest panelist to give the audience one piece of advice. And this should be, 60 seconds or less, hence the lightning round. But one takeaway that you want to leave our audience with. Who'd like to start out?
I can go.
Great.
Um, my advice is to be a fast and savvy follower when it comes to AI adoption. And I mean by fast follower is to pay attention to what's going on out there and what's working and effective and pick it up and bring it to market for yourself. But I want you to be savvy at it as well. And what I mean by that is the best followers also improve on the systems that they're adopting, right? So don't just adopt it and put it into place. Improve it. Think about where it's flawed or where how it can be better. So make an improvement and then also really tailor it to your organization, to your context, to what your goals are, because what's best for another organization might not be what's best for yours. So be a fast follower, but be a savvy one as well.
I can go next. To me, my kind of 60 seconds pill would be do experiment with AI. And I won't call it technology, it's just a chance of improvement of your processes, a chance of automating. It doesn't have to be done by people who know technology. Actually, people who don't know technology probably will be better at it. It has to be done by people who keep their feet on the ground and do things keeping in mind what the values are, keeping in mind the guidelines we discussed about, keeping in mind what is good, what we are trying to do. Um, there is a very, very easy way of going fast, slowly. Um, and I leave the citation to George, but it was a great one. There is a very easy way, which is by saying if you are working with AI, by saying, look, this is the range of cases in which you can take a decision. This is the safe bit of your work now. On this other bit, tell me first. Okay, very easy way. And you always have that option. So my suggestion is do experiment, do use it because the potential is huge. However, use it with head and heart. Okay. Because your ethics and your principles and the ethics and the principles of the company you work for are the things to be taken into account. And I'm afraid it's going to be very, very difficult to teach an AI model that.
Lisa, I'll go next. It's hard to just limit it to one more item, but I think so. I'm going to do two things. Just our kind of motto at the leadership team is to trust and verify. So that echoes what George and Paulo and Paul have all talked about. But one of the other things I just want to think about, again, depending on the audience and who's listening today, subject matter expert when it comes to technology, that's been really helpful in our credit union embracing technology and these changes. So considering recruiting board members who have that core competency could be valuable.
Well, I would say this has been wonderful, by the way, an incredible conversation, and I've learned so much. Look, I think that apply skepticism and humility, right? Keep that balance. Um, to tie back to the title, the hype is way too much, and the people that are hyping it up the most are the ones that show the least humility around this. This is the most awesome technology out there, probably and arguably comparable to nuclear power. And so anybody that thinks that they know what they're doing, anybody that thinks that know how this is going to impact our civilization, buyer beware, be very skeptical about their proclamations, right? Come to it with some level of humility. If you come to it, then you start applying, as Paula said, the value of the ethics. And what I would say is that's very important. You don't need AI to learn ethics. We have scores of book. Anybody that has the mental fortitude, go into some Russian literature, you'll deal with some ethics there. But think about it this way. You know, we hear a lot of extremes. We won't need doctors. It's gonna destroy the world. You know, the book Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, right? Everybody thinks about it because of the images and media, you know, it's the monster, blah, blah, blah. But there's one way of interpreting that book, which is, you know, the creature wasn't bad. What happened was that he abandoned the creature to the world and it learned and behaved the way it was treated, right? So this awesome technology, if you throw it out there and just let anybody play with it, and it's like you're going to get what you put out there. And I think that this is where the humility part comes in. We don't understand, you know, we should know that there's a lot we don't know, and so let's teach it what we want it to be as best we want it to be. So I would leave it with, like, you know, be skeptical of the hype and bring a lot of humility into it, and I think you could make some really good decisions.
I want to thank this panel, and to recap the advice, it's fast follow, but smartly, values-based experimentation with heart and head, trust and verify, and skepticism with humility. That is great advice. And I want to thank each of you who took time out of your busy leadership schedules to join us today. Megan, George, Paul, Paolo, it's always a pleasure. Thank you. And we'll have to check back in a year maybe and see what AI innovations have come about. That might be fun to do.